What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about OpenDAO, an airdrop that occurred that has been massive for anyone that's used OpenSea ever. I'm going to get into this and what to look for because these kind of things are going to start happening again this year. It's inevitable, and you don't want to miss out on these opportunities. Before I get into it, as always, I'll update the spreadsheet. These are the first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel that I thought would just crush it in the cycle. You invested $100 when I released all the videos, and you were still holding those cryptos, you'd be in profit for over 69 grand. This is not my portfolio anymore. If you want to see exactly what I'm in, you can check out Copy My Crypto. Speaking of airdrops, in the past sort of couple of months, we've had two airdrops. One that was several hundreds of dollars to people, one that was several thousands of dollars to people. There is one coming up very soon that I think is going to be immensely profitable as well. These are great opportunities to supplement your sort of crypto holdings and, profit that you can just bank, to be fair. It's free. So if you want to be a part of that and make those gains, then you'll want to check this out because, like I said, these airdrops have been wonderful. On top of the fact that the investments themselves have done well, not to mention like one that is less than 2 months old and has already 8x'd. And if, like I said, you want to make these gains, check it out. Okay, OpenDAO. OpenDAO did a massive airdrop. Literally, it happened basically Christmas Eve. Saw the price run all the way up to not far from double where it's at right now. And what this is effectively compensation for anyone that ever used OpenSea. So you can connect your wallet if you've done any transactions. So any of the dollars you've spent on OpenSea or the number of transactions you've done on OpenSea, all of these go towards a potential claim of an airdrop. And it's a nice opportunity. If you are a buyer of NFTs via OpenSea, you will almost certainly, you will certainly have crypto to claim, which is pretty cool. And it's literally just been done as a result of effectively compensating people for the ridiculous level of fees that sometimes we've seen on OpenSea. So they've stated they're grateful to NFT creators, collectors, and markets for nurturing and developing this NFT ecosystem. So they chose OpenSea collectors to conduct the airdrop. So basically, there was a snapshot taken on the 23rd of December, and the distribution of the tokens has been weighted. So 30% weight for transactions and 70% weight for transaction volume. Users have until like the summer, June 30th, to claim their tokens, after which any remaining tokens will be sent to the DAO treasury. This is a lovely little sort of, airdrop. We've seen these in the past. Uniswaps was amazing. And there are plenty more that are clearly going to happen. I've actually spoken and touched upon this not that long ago, but this moment is worth pointing out because these opportunities are knocking about. So it's worth checking because, like I said, you might have a lot of tokens that you can claim. What OpenDAO are going to do is introduce staking. They already have a farm on SushiSwap. So if you've got a OpenDAO and Ethereum or wrapped Ethereum, if you get yourself a liquidity token, you can earn yourself pretty good rewards. I mean, the APR is pretty awesome. I'm always very hesitant on liquidity pools in general. But if you're one that like liquidity pools, obviously those returns are very good. They're not going to last, obviously. But that's pretty good. OpenDAO have also partnered with X.XYZ, which is a community-owned cross-chain NFT marketplace. So they have a ton of tokens. 25% of their token supply will be given to staked SOS holders over the next 4 years. So when staking comes up and it's simply OpenDAO, you know, that's one to look at as opposed to necessarily a liquidity pool. But it's a nice and that would be a nice opportunity if you've got these and you've not got a ton of money, but you like a ton that's been airdropped to you. You can supplement it by staking, and there'll be additional benefits from that. This was a fairly enormous moment. When it actually airdropped, it surged more than 1,000% since the Christmas Eve airdrop. It's retraced a little bit, obviously, but fairly massive surge. Out of the blue. It's actually got a market cap of nearly $250 million right now. So if you've ever used OpenSea, check that out. Claim your tokens, because if you've been doing decent volume, you might end up having a lot of free crypto and decent dollar volume, or dollar worth that you can claim and cash if you want. Even Logan Paul was tweeting about collecting NFTs. He's acquired 139, spent $2.645 million. If he's been using OpenSea, I bet he's got a fair amount he's going to claim. There's over 200,000 SOS holders right now. Obviously, a lot of them are people that have claimed. Well, all of them will be people that have claimed, or the majority anyway. And this kind of thing is wicked. And the reason that I'm talking about it is these opportunities are knocking about. There are plenty of crypto wallets about. Just as an example, like Exodus is one that was around like 4 years ago. And Exodus is a decent place that you can store on your desktop. And if they introduce I don't know if they have, but if they introduce their own coin, that would be a nice little opportunity. But there are a number of different wallets that have spoken about doing airdrops, or at least touched upon that as an idea in the public forums, whether it was Phantom, the Phantom wallet based on Solana, whether it's Comet, whether it's one of these decentralized exchanges that are more lower cap, that if you trial, you might, and they end up releasing their own token, you might end up picking yourself up some crypto for nothing, for something you were already doing. So Ref Finance, don't know anything about them, they're up. Right now, I don't necessarily see a token. Oh no, they've got their own Ref Finance token. So that was one I wouldn't look at. But then, but have a look through. Find yourself a DEX potentially that hasn't got their own token. If you can find one that hasn't got their own token, you're probably going to end up finding one that's going to airdrop their own to the people that have used it, the first users. That's what always happens. That's what happened with Uniswap. That's what's just happened with the OpenSea one. We've seen it happen with other DEXs as well. Then there's your wallets. MetaMask have spoken in a number of times about potentially airdropping. So if you've used MetaMask before, make sure you do a swap via MetaMask as opposed to, say, Uniswap or SushiSwap. If you actually use the swap tool on MetaMask, that'll probably ensure that you meet the criteria necessary. Like I said, Phantom Wallet, Comet. There are tons knocking about, and it's one of those where you utilize being one of the first users of these kind of dexes or these kind of or new kind of wallets. Obviously, double check that the wallet isn't created by someone dodgy, but there's an opportunity there to pick up crypto, particularly if they do that airdrop, because they'll airdrop to the people that used it first. So if it was an activity you were already going to do it again. Just do it somewhere else. Get yourself some crypto. Again, there are tons of these exchanges. Aldrin definitely has their own token. tons of these dexes, so it's not going to take you long to literally open up a bunch of these and find one that doesn't have their own native token. Literally, it says in the descriptions. It's a Mojito token, native token, job done, move on. Right, and you can just keep going like that. Token long, presumably do. Built upon thing, built upon OX, token long, network token. There you go. Right. But have a scan through, find the ones that don't have their own native. It really won't take you that long. And once you do, you've then, if you trial it, if you can find something that you wanted to get anyway, again, they have their own token. Then you've got the opportunity to get some free crypto. Because this is one where feasibly this could do okay in price. It could run, potentially. You know, they've got an idea in terms of pushing staking incentives. I quite like the fact that they're looking at compensating victims of like NFT scams. I like the fact that they're looking at supporting art preservation. They're looking at a developer grant for participating in the ecosystem. So they've got plans, but there's fairly minimal information beyond that. But it's a good start. You got to give them credit. Airdrop, they've done an airdrop out the blue, and in 3 days their market cap is $250 million. Credit, you give credit where credit's due, right? So I'd be checking out their Discord and their Twitter, keeping an eye on what they're saying, and seeing if there's going to be any bigger moves made. But this is, again, it's a nice story, and it's one where if you see this happen, rather than being pissed off that you missed out on it, start looking at where the next opportunity is going to come from. Because there are tons of exchanges and there are tons of wallets that don't have any native tokens. Tons of dexes, not exchanges. Tons of dexes, tons of wallets that don't have their own native tokens. And you just need to do a little bit of a dive into that, figure out which ones could be next, start using them and playing around. And as a first user, you're probably going to end up receiving something if they do an airdrop. In fact, you'll certainly end up. You know, they usually have some level of criteria, but this little trial and error thing is a nice way to potentially earn. It's a good one to look at. And like I said, I've given you a couple that don't have a token yet. Your MetaMask and your Phantom wallet are two that have spoken about it in the past. So opportunities are there. But what a hell of an airdrop. $250 million. Jesus. Yeah, that's the story. Anyway, that's it from me. Hope you're all keeping well. Hope many of you that traded on hope many of you traded on OpenSea because you got some free money, and presumably the NFTs you wanted. And speaking of airdrops, if you want to hear about a very good one coming up that I've been letting everyone know on Copy My Crypto that happens in a matter of like 2 days or so, and then check out Copy My Crypto because it's an opportunity like that could make several thousands of dollars for people. It's a great opportunity. And if you want to bank some free crypto, some free airdrop money, this is a wonderful opportunity to check it out. Links in the description. Anyway, take it easy, guys. Bye.